when it came out and when we were selected to be a part of the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, the city of Memphis is a very special place, and there's so many iconic things that are here in our city. And one of the iconic events is the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. So when our university was selected to represent, be represented in this game, and it was a true celebration, not only for our fan base. It'll be the first time in our program's history that we've got to take place in this game, and it's in our home stadium. And to be able to celebrate that with our city, it's been incredible, because the excitement, the joy, to be able to wrap up such an incredible season, with this being the destination for our last game. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'll tell you that we've been able to experience some things this week or in the last couple of weeks. We took our kids to the National Civil Rights Museum. That's something that in the course of a year, it's always only about 15 minutes away from us, but we haven't had the opportunity to do that as an entire group, and that was special. To be able to go down to Bass Pro and to have the kickoff event it was fun to see our guys interact, and not only do they get a chance to meet new people and to have those experiences, but they also get to do it within our community and all the support and all the celebration. To be able to go down to St. Jude's and spend that time. It's pretty special, because we do have a unique relationship with St. Jude's, and our guys have been able to do that, have that experience a few times, but to be able to do it around this game and this event, it's just been very special for us as a football team. It's been special for our families, and definitely been special for our players. And so we're grateful for everybody that's involved, and we were definitely looking forward to tomorrow.
Questions for Coach Norvell?
Sir?
Look at Iowa State, a team out of the Big 12, a team that got some big victories early on, winning Oklahoma, got a win, beat TCU, kind of fell a little bit down the stretch. What particular challenges do they bring for your team?
I see a complete football team. Iowa State, they're very multiple offensively. They've got some dynamic players, some big play receivers. I think one of the best backs in the country, a quarterback that has really come in and done a remarkable job of being able to spread the football around. You look at them defensively, and I think it's probably one of the most underrated or underappreciated defenses in the country. To do what they've done throughout this season, in an offensive league like the Big 12. And it's impressive to watch. And this is a football team that you can tell that they've got a great deal of confidence in their schematic plans. They have a great deal of confidence in their coaching staff. They play together, play extremely hard. That's something that Coach Campbell. We were talking at the dinner last night, and you can see the personality of what his leadership is. That shows up on film, and so we know that we're going to get a football team that has progressed throughout his time there, and they definitely are a wonderful opponent for us to have to face.
Mike, what are the most important factors for you guys in this game? What would you like to see you guys continue that you were able to do during the regular season?
I think the turnover battle is going to be huge. You got two of the best teams in the country in turnover margin facing off. You look at Iowa State team, and they've went the entire season without losing a fumble. I don't know if I've ever seen that stat in my days of coaching. And this is a team that is disciplined. They play the game the right way. We've got to be able to see if we can steal a possession here or there when they're on offense, and we can't give up the football. That's going to be a major factor. I think when you look at it, the line of scrimmage is going to play a big part of it. We want to be balanced in what we do, running the football. Being able to have an opportunity to get that established, but then we also have to try to force them and stop them in the run game. Hopefully, being able to make them a more one-dimensional team. But back and forth when you have two teams that are versatile like we both are, that the battle in the trenches is going to be big.
Coach, you're typically doing a bowl, but there's so many distractions about what's going on around the bowl game. Is there a sense of comfortability with your team knowing the bowl games in your home city, in your home stadium?
Well, I think there is a comfort of where we are, and but just like anything, even though we're in our home city, we still stayed in a hotel this week. We had a lot of the events that we were able to be a part of, and so was a little bit of a different schedule, but like I said, it's really been kind of a celebration of where we are and the event that we get to be a part of. But for our players, the meetings, the practices, they understand why we're here and what we're here to accomplish. And so I really been pleased with their focus, their energy, the way they've prepared for this, not just over the last week, but over the course of almost the last month, because this is going to be a great football game. It's going to be one with two football teams that are highly explosive and both very passionate about trying to get a W.
You were coming under tropical depression a long time ago, and a huge tropical storm in Liberty Bowl for the first game. Here you are. It's going to be a little cold now for this game. Does it feel like a long time ago as you look back over this season and it's sort of coming full circle to tomorrow? What are your thoughts?
I think this season has been a remarkable one, but there's been so many different circumstances that have come out of this year, whether it was the weather, whether it was the changing of games, whether the different scheduling conflicts that we saw. But that's the thing that I've been most pleased with this football team is just the way they've responded in every circumstance that has kind of shown up for them. They continue to fight, they continue to battle, they've worked to do things the right way, and I think back to the last outing was they're in the championship game, and that game didn't go the way that we hoped, and it didn't finish the way that we wanted. But when I stood in that locker room, I was so proud of that team because of the way that they competed together. And even in that game, we were down 14 points in the fourth quarter, but we found a way to put ourselves in a position to have a chance to win the game. And our guys, that's just been the reoccurring theme is through success, through some adversity, the response. And people asked a lot about the weather and all the things that we've seen, and I think it's just something that we've been able to build off of, through each experience. And we're definitely excited that the sun's going to be shining tomorrow, and we get to play here at our home stadium, start to finish.
Coach, you got something to be more of a family than a team. What was that experience like if you can go in a little bit about it, going to the Civil Rights Museum, and any discussions amongst the team afterwards?
I think when you look at our guys, that's something we hope for. We talk a lot about the Tiger football family and the relationships that our guys have. It's not just what we're doing on the field, and we spend so much time there. Obviously meetings, the preparation in the weight room, but when you're able to go and have an experience like at the Civil Rights Museum to see guys, learning about history, learning about different experiences that have helped get us to the place that we are today in our society and in culture, and to see them kind of just interact with each other is pretty special. I know one of my favorite things that we did this week is we just took our entire team out to dinner. I guess it was a few nights ago, and we took them to Benihana's there just across from the hotel, and just to watch our guys just all interact together. And to be able to not think about just the game or even practice or the preparation, but to be able to have that experience where they're able to grow together, where they're able to enjoy those moments. Because come tomorrow, this Tiger football team will never be the same. There's going to be new faces. There's going to be some of the greatest players in our program history that are going to go and take the next step in their careers, whether that's on the field or off the field. And those experience, the moments that you get together, those experiences, you just want to make sure that you enjoy and maximize every one of them. And that's what this bowl week has been, because we've been able to celebrate it here in our hometown as well. That's been pretty, like I said, been pretty special. I think when you watch Joel play, he's obviously a special player, very versatile in what he can do, playing quarterback, playing linebacker. That's not usually a combination that you see from a whole lot of people. But he's obviously it speaks to the he's a unselfish player in making sure that everything that he's asked to do, he does for the betterment of his team. And I think that you can see that leadership and what the trickle down effect that it's had among everybody within their organization because of the way that they play. And he plays with a relentless spirit. He's a great playmaker, and I think guys really feed off of the leader that he is, and the leadership and the values that he's shown.
Coach, you talked about your kind of special relationship you have with these seniors, but with Riley being your first quarterback and your first head coaching job, what's this week been like for you two together, spending it and knowing that tomorrow's it?
It's been great. I think you think about last night I was sitting on the stage with Riley, and we talked about the first day. We talked about the recruiting trip. We talked about, all those things that built up to just him having this opportunity. And you look at the success that he's been able to have here in his first 2 years, and really how he obtained that. Riley Ferguson, he replaced arguably the best quarterback in Memphis history. And, he didn't come in telling the football team what he was going to do. He just let his actions kind of speak for what he was trying to accomplish and what this football team meant to him. And, really that helped brand him as a leader that he is now. And you see the success that he's had, and I couldn't be more proud of him. He's accomplished in every area, on the field, in the classroom. He graduated last week, and he was the top graduate within his class. I mean, that's something that nobody can ever take away from him. And I know Riley Ferguson's going to play more football whenever this game is done. But tomorrow's going to be special for him because of the journey and all that he's put into it, and what this football team has really meant to him as a leader of it.
Coach, do you think special teams will play a big factor in this game, knowing you guys have a weapon like Tony Pollard on the kickoff return team?
I think special teams in bowl games in general, I think special teams always play a huge factor. Any game you watch, there's usually a play or two that kind of stands out in the game, in one of those areas. And so I think it's going to be a huge part. It's one that we've got to be prepared for everything that could possibly show up. But then also, if we've got to maximize our opportunities, we can't give up the critical play. If we get an opportunity to have a big return, we've got to capitalize on that, and then we've got to contain their returner. I mean, they are a very dynamic returner in the punt game and in their kickoff return game that we've got to be accountable to.
One fine line between confidence and cockiness. Have you been worried at all about your team in terms of this week, the helmet stuff, and Anthony was saying he wants to put big numbers up on a defense like this. Where's that line, and have they stayed on the right side?
I think the biggest thing is how you prepare. And, as our guys, we know the challenge that's in front of us. This is the best defense that we've played this year. And our guys know that. You just turn on film, and that's what shows up. And so we've got to go out there and, offense, defense, special teams, we've got to play our best game. And that's something that our guys, know what's in front of us, and they're excited about the opportunity. But on the same hand, if the only concerns I would have is if we didn't prepare at a high level. And that's where, the complacency is the biggest, the evil to greatness. And so that's something that we have had to really work on, is making sure that we haven't got complacent in any area of our program. The way that we trained, the way that we've, been in meetings, obviously what we've done on the practice field, every aspect of that is going to be critical to what shows up tomorrow. And so we just finished our last practice out there at South Campus here this morning. And, I told our guys, well, the next 24 hours are the most important 24 hours. Not to let up. Make sure we stay focused, doing everything that we can to build up to 11:30 and for the 3.5 hour battle that we're gonna be in.
What kind of atmosphere are you expecting it to be? Kind of a home game type atmosphere for you, and also just how does the weather play into that? I don't think you've played in these types of conditions all year, 30 degree, maybe lower.
Well, I think it's going to be a great atmosphere, and when you play in a bowl game like this, I've had the opportunity in the last couple of years to come and experience the Liberty Bowl atmosphere, and being at home, is a great thing. I know that the Tiger Nation is going to show up and be in strong effect, but I also know that Iowa State is a team that travels extremely well, and so it's going to be a rowdy atmosphere on both sides, and that's what you want to be a part of. For this game to be a hard sellout, there I guess it was 3 or 4 days ago I saw it come out, and that's incredible. That's a compliment to this game, it's a compliment to the city, and it's a compliment to the two team and fan bases that are going to show up. And so I'm excited about that. The weather, I don't really matter. We've been practicing all week at 9 in the morning, and so we've been able to get our fair share of the cold weather, and it is what it is. And we've also played in games that were cooler temperatures this season, so it's not going to be a big deal. It's not going to change for us. Obviously, with Daryl, no longer being a part of the staff, every dynamic's going to stay the same except for Coach Jones, who's obviously our new running back coach. He's going to be on the field and be able to help with some of the substitution things. But Coach Dillingham's still going to be in the box. Coach Tucker, they get basically all the same pieces minus Coach Dickey. But it won't change very much.
Will someone else move to the box?
No.
How do you stop a guy like David Montgomery?
That's a great challenge, and I tell you, watching Montgomery run the football is something that is very impressive. He is I think he's leading the country in most forced missed tackles. He's somebody that you have to get stopped before he gets started, and you have to be relentless to pursuit of the ball because he's going to make people miss. He's going to run through tackles. You've got to make sure that it's going to take everybody that's on that field tracking him to make sure that we can get him down. But he's a very impressive player, 1,000-yard back. A guy that's going to play this game for a long time. So we definitely have to do a great job getting him stopped early.
How do you feel when it's over? I mean, obviously, when you lose, we change that. But this season has been.
It's been a remarkable year, and I tell you, you put so much into every season and every young man, and to know that. When this game's over with tomorrow, this team, regardless of the outcome, will go down as one of the great Memphis Tiger football teams. And we want to make sure that we end it the right way. But I'll think of all the relationships. I'll think of the impact. Jannard Avery grabbed me on the field today and just kind of wrapped his arm around me and goes, "Coach, I love you." And you don't think about that on a day-to-day basis is what that relationship has been over the last 2 years. 21 guys that are going to leave our program that have been impacted as not only football players but as the men that they're going to continue to grow to be, and the impact they've had on our families and our lives and on this community. And so when tomorrow's over with, it'll be a kind of a surreal moment, I'm sure, because I just appreciate this team. I appreciate the coaches. I appreciate all that goes into a football season, and just what these kids have allowed us to do in leading them throughout the season.
Coach, T.J. Carter and Tito Wyndham have really played well for you throughout the year. But Iowa State's top 2 wide receivers, one's listed 6'4", the other listed 6'5". For Tito and T.J. both being below 6 foot, how are you prepared to deal with the 2 wide receivers that bring a lot of size?
Well, definitely, that's what makes their offense so challenging, because not only what they do schematically, being balanced, being able to run and throw, but also the personnel they have from Montgomery in the backfield, obviously the 2 receivers on the outside that have done a remarkable job. But then also their physical, they're both guys are physically imposing, very skilled wide receivers, great route runners, can go up and high point the football. So. Our guys, we have our hands full, and I can tell you that there have been we've played some quality receivers throughout this season, and our guys have always rose to the challenge in going out there and competing for 60 minutes, and so we know that they're going to make their plays, and we know that there's going to be some back and forth with it, but I'm confident in our guys that they'll go out there and compete.